Hi, my name is Dr. Corey Wren. I'm a vegan sociologist, a vegan feminist, a vegan witch, and I like to take folks on magical vegan trips with me. Although most of the stuff I do on this channel is really more witchcraft focused, I also like to sort of find the magic in the everyday. And for me, traveling to other countries, of course, is always really magical. Learning about new cultures and exploring new vegan delights is always a way to re-enchant your everyday life. I was back in Barcelona. This is my third time in Barcelona. I've been here before in I think 2017 with my then boyfriend who was vegan, and we got to check out lots of really amazing vegan and vegetarian restaurants. I have still some very fond memories of my first patatas bravas, gazpacho, paella, and it was really hot that summer. Of course, it's Barcelona, it's always hot, but it was really hot when we went to visit, and I just have really, really fond memories of crawling around Barcelona in the Gothic district, trying to keep cool and tracking down good vegan food. The second time I went was in 2019 as part of the Critical Animal Studies conference at the university there. The third time I went was this June, and I was asked, so very grateful, I was asked to keynote at the Compassionate Futures Vegan Conference, and I was there with lots of other vegan feminists presenting on research on my forthcoming book. But I was solo traveling this time, so I had a lot of time to myself to do some exploration. And for this time, for the first time, I wasn't in the touristy area. I was actually on the other end where the university was, and it was a whole different vibe. And still, lots and lots of vegan restaurants. I don't think that most people who are not from there realize this, but Barcelona is actually one of the most vegan-friendly cities in Europe, if not the world. So one of the very first things I did was I went to go check out one of two all vegan grocery stores in Barcelona. So the first one I went to was actually really, really amazing. It was a full service grocery store. I think the only thing they didn't really have was like a whole lot of fresh veg and vegetables. Well, it's Barcelona, I guess you can get that anywhere. I did check out the other one. The other one was more about just offering snacks and drinks. So I did stop in at one point to get an ice cream and a soda or a kombucha or something. But the first one I visited was the big one. It was the main full service one. And there was just so much awesome stuff there. I was really taken aback by that. Like, for instance, this frozen section where it's like pick a mix. You can get all kinds of different vegan textured protein, battered, whatever, breadcrumbed delights. I was staying in a hotel, so I didn't fool with that, but I was really tempted by all of it. When I was actually persuaded to buy, though, it's because right after, when I was coming back from Barcelona, landing in London, a friend was picking me up, but we were going straight to a summer solstice gathering in Avebury. We all had to take turns cooking, so I figured that my turn cooking, I would bring some delights back from Spain, from Barcelona. So I brought back a whole bunch of different types of Spanish fake ham. I've been vegan for 25 years and vegetarian for longer than that. So I've never tried a lot of these things as actual dead animals, but I guess it's interesting to try different flavored soy stuff and wheat stuff. So I did. I got a few different kinds of hams and sausage thingies. And I did eat quite a bit in the hotel room because I couldn't resist. And I found an amazing gazpacho, and that did not last long. I'm so gazpacho crazy. I was really, really pleased to go to the heart of gazpacho and get some there. I did a bit of wandering as well in Barcelona, not too much because it was hot and I was on my own, and I always get worried about getting lost, getting tired, or whatever, you know. So I did do some wandering. One of my favorite things about Barcelona is they built into the design how to cope with the heat. And that is something that we're sorely missing here in the UK because we're now in a climate emergency. So we just get pummeled by the sun constantly. But in Barcelona, all these beautiful trees, they have public water fountains, places to cool off, and it's really, really pleasant. I did go in search of the historic cemetery there, but maybe it was because I was there too late, or maybe it was just private. I could not access it, and I walked all the way around that sucker. But from the top of my hotel room, check this view out, I could actually see into the cemetery a little bit. It's close to the beach. And I could get a very good view of the city. I also went down to the beach, and again, I was by myself, and the beach is absolutely packed. I'd hoped to go down there and read on the beach, but it was just way too packed with people. So I went there, I looked at it, turned around and came back. The last major thing I attempted to do, other than give my keynote, which by the way, I thought went really well. And if you're interested, I will link it below. And that was to at least go to one vegan restaurant. So I did try to go to the Blue restaurant, which was very, very highly recommended. But them, seeing that I was a woman on my own, did not let me sit outside. It was a million trillion degrees, y'all. It was June, late June in Barcelona. I'm not sitting inside in an unair conditioned box to eat my dinner. So I said, no, thank you. So if I had come with someone else, they would have let me take up a table outside. But because I'm by myself, so it's like, single stigma, isn't it? So I went across the street, easy peasy, over to Vrudel. And they actually didn't give a crap if I was a woman by myself or not. And they let me sit wherever the hell I wanted to, which I did. And it was so much more beautiful. I highly, highly recommend give Blue a miss. Go across the street and go to Vrudel because it's so much more beautifully decorated over there. They have a lovely little secret garden in the back. And there was a few pigeons there that I could hang out with. By the way, Barcelona is not very friendly to its pigeons. I saw some really nasty things happening to pigeons and had to speak up for them, which happens everywhere. But I think Barcelona is a major sort of heavy pavement, concrete type of place. Attracts a lot more pigeons than other places would. But anyway, that's not to detract from Vrudel. Vrudel was really amazing. The staff was amazing. I felt welcomed. My food was made really quickly. And I tried the Portobello burger, although there was all kinds of different amazing temptations. And then to go, because I'm a greedy Gus, I got battered cauliflower crumbles. I was expecting big chunks of cauliflower, but they were little tiny bits and crumbles. Not sure what that's about, but they're still good. And then of course, patatas bravas, which you can't go to Spain and not have those because it's very, very vegan friendly. So that is my wonderful trip to Barcelona. I actually felt really, really invigorated by this trip. First off, to be asked to come and speak on my vegan feminist theory and my research, that always builds you up and makes you feel good. It always feels good when you travel on your own as well, especially as a woman. You feel yeah, I can move about in the world. I feel confident. But also being around all this veganism everywhere, it helps to counter the really gnarly awfulness that is a speciesist world that we live in. And also finding sort of the magic and history in this very old city, and the architecture, and the tree-lined streets, the pigeons, again, just love my pigeons in Barcelona. And to me, it really was magical. I tried to find some more magical places within walking distance, but yeah, some of it was not accessible. Obviously, there's the big cathedral, which, believe it or not, I've been there 3 times and I've never actually visited the cathedral. The Gothic district, of course, is really beautiful and historic as well. So I'm sure there's a thriving witchy community there, but I was kind of stuck where I was around my hotel, and nonetheless, still had a really awesome experience. So if you are thinking about traveling to the Spanish region, definitely give Barcelona some thought. And if you've made it into that cemetery, let me know in the comments. I really wanted to get in there.